Mode number 7 in the melodic minor scale is the super Locrian or the altered scale. As we've seen in the melodic minor, it's got all the same notes as Ionian except for the lowered third. So if we start on the 7th, which would be the Locrian mode, we will lower one note. That would be the 4th. Locrian already has a flat 2, a flat 3, flat 5, flat 6, and flat 7. So super Locrian has flat 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All the notes are flatted. Here's our melodic minor. We've got our 4 whole steps between the minor 3rd, the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, all the way up there. They move here to the flat 4, all the way up to the root with the whole steps. That puts the half steps between the root and the 2, and then the flat 3 and the flat 4. We would number them 1, flat 2, flat 3, flat 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, and 1. And that's what makes it super Locrian. Or we actually can rename these. The chord that often goes with this is a dominant chord. The flat 4 is the equivalent of a 3. The flat 7, of course, could be a dominant 7. So we can get a major chord with a root and a 3 and a flat 7. That's a dominant chord. It will have the option of an altered 5th. The flat 5 is already present. The flat 6 can be a sharp 5. So in the chord you choose one or the other, the flat or the sharp 5. Same thing here, the flat 2 and the flat 3 are actually a flat 2 and a sharp 2 in the chord. So when you ask for an altered chord, say a G7 altered, you're asking for flat or sharp 2s, flat or sharp 5s. Sometimes the chart will specify. They would say G7 with a flat 5 or G7 with a sharp 5. The altered, because it's very similar to a diminished chord, could also resolve up that half step, treating its root as a leading tone, up into the root of the melodic minor key. Here's your A melodic minor scale again. So we've got A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. In the altered scale, just like a Locrian, we're going to take that scale and just add one note below it. On the altered scale, I'm going to move back to the root on the 6th string as well. I want to go to the A root for the melodic minor. Previously we were using the D root because I wanted to use the A scale as the 5 or the G scale as the 4 of the D. Now I'm at the 7th, the altered. So I want it right beside the root, the A. So I'm using the A melodic minor with a 6th string start. So we're starting on the G sharp. We're going to have G sharp chords to go with this scale. So I've got G sharp, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, which is the root of the altered. You can move the C back to the 3rd fret of the 5th string and line up those whole steps that we saw earlier. I've always liked it on the 6th string. I shift my pinky to get it. You will hear the 5 sound weird probably. Compared to the G sharp note, D is a flat 5, E is a sharp 5, D, E, F sharp. The things I like about it, one of the symmetrical things I like about it is we get this on top and bottom, of course, as we always would have. 1st and 6th string are the same, but we get whole steps D to E on the 5th and on the 2nd. And then we get a package of 3 notes on the 4th and 3rd. So I get root, ring, pinky, and then root, 2nd, pinky. Of course, I want to hear it resolving back up off the 7. If we have the chord on, if we have the G sharp chord on there, may or may not hear the resolution. Here's a little vamp I could do with the A minor with its major 7, the G sharp note, to the G sharp with a sharp 5, also do flat 5 on the G sharp. Kind of missed it there, I think. So here it is, the D note in it. I'll go back to sharp 5s. And there's your A. So here's the scale sound. The root of this scale is this G sharp, but you can hear as a Locrian scale it wants to resolve up to the A. We can do a root of the G sharp into the sharp 2 and the 3, which we've heard in bluesy ideas. In its own context, you would probably hear a bluesy idea. Already though, because of the context we've heard, we can hear that it is altered. Here's that sharp 2 to 3 again. And there's an A minor arpeggio. Some of the chords you could get out of this would be a G sharp augmented. 1, 3, sharp 5, 1. We could put the 7 in it, so it's the G sharp augmented, dominant 7. We could put the sharp 9 on this B note. That takes the C out though, so we've lost the 3 of the chord. The other thing I liked about the scale that I mentioned, in the others we could see where the whole steps were. In this I enjoy the half steps, the G sharp to A, and the B to C. So we can move around on those half steps. Here's the A minor arpeggio. That C can become a 3 in the G chord. And I continue to hear it resolving onto the A there.